So hi everyone. Today in this video, I'm gonna talk about another beast that people tend to suffer a lot, and that's one that mainly happens for people that probably have like easier life than other ones. Then probably they as well they do their decisions with less bothering from their outcomes because they probably feel that whatever is outcome that can bring to them, they're safe by whole supportive cast that they can have. And so why I'm talking about this bees like that, I'm gonna talk about the mental accounting base, how we treat money or some specific resources differently based in what was the effort that we have put to conquer them. And then, so what's the best type of question to make you even more illustrative for you? Have you ever spent money, for example, I use the example of money, differently depending on where it came from, even though it's all just money? Like, even if your money has come from a gift or money that ever saved from a salary, you seem to treat them differently just because they have come in possibly different ways, even if the value that they have intrinsically is the same. And then, so if it's something that you answer positively, you treat different. Sometimes you have treated money or other resources differently depending of where were the people that give to you or where was the resources that you have to spend to get this. If it's something that's positive, you have done it. This is not so as the mental accounting base. So we'll dive in that mental accounting. That is a real life example and how it can affect your financial decisions is where, so I'm going to focus a bit more. So what is mental accounting? Refers to a tendency to treat money differently depending on its source, intended use, or even how it was spent. People mentally categorize and allocate money in different accounts based on subjective criteria, even if the economic value is the same. For example, you might be more willing to splurge with a tax refund or a bonus, but hesitate to spend the same amount from your savings. That's one specific example as well. These bids lead us to make what? What is the problem of suffering with bids? Making what? Making irrational decisions, and so outcomes are cannot they're not so optimized as what would be ideal to do to him to be present and to exist with the resources that we have. Being limited, we having almost unlimited type of needs, we need to treat well the resources that we have. And so mental and irrational decisions, they pass for not satisfying this specific law that rationally talking everyone should have, trying to use as much as possible our limited resources to satisfy our almost unlimited needs. And then, so mental accounting is a process that happens wherever it is for money, sources, whatever it is the item that we can use. And then, so what are real life examples? Windfall gains. When you receive unexpected money like a tax refund or a bonus, you're more likely to spend it on luxury items or things you wouldn't usually buy, despite the fact that it's still just money. The way we categorize make it is feel like it's an extra and therefore more available for indulgence. That's another type of thing that if you look biological reasoning, you understand it will not be something that you should do. Example 2, treating different pools of money unequally. So imagine you have 100 or 1000. Let's gonna use 1000 in a savings account and 1000 on a credit card. If you needed to buy something for half of that, so 500, you might think twice before spending from your saving, but you may be more willing to spend the same amount from your credit card. That's another example. Even though both phones have the same value, but just because your mental accounting, you have kind of distributed a specific amount for saving account in order for credit card, if you were ordered to do a decision, you're more willingness to spend from your credit card instead of doing from the safe because you have done the mental accounting that your money that is in savings is to save, and the other one you're more willingness to pay. But in reality, it's both. We will have to spend the same quantity, but even that you have like a higher tendency to treat differently just because you have done a mental accounting that money that is in credit card is a one that's more valuable to spend in all the mundane items that you can so use it. Other thing, not using gift money wisely, and that's something that should bother people. Then they get like everyone that they've got, they don't treat the things that they have received just because they're not putting the effort on the way that they should, and so sometimes they're not efficient. It's like skinning the game is like one of the most important things that you have to got. People that have sometimes people that they kind of spread information, now looking for the concept of information, people that spread information as famous people that spread just because they want to gain money, and don't so they don't put their skin in the game of consuming what they're promoting, and then so it's more easy to him to spread their information, not having bothering of the real type of value that they are promoting for other ones. They don't have, just because they not have the skin in the game, they have not, so they're not going to consume it. And then so just what can bring so the action of promoting things that are good for other ones, that can create profit and not put so their skin that they could so be putting in risk if they were consuming what they're promoting, just because they are not doing it. So they will have like a less willingness to really see the real information of what they're promoting, the real risks, the real benefits. And then so you just consume it passively, and you assume just because it authority that is so promoting, you confirm and you just consume it without having a reflexive thinking of the real value of what you're going to consume. That's why, and that's something that you can take for your life, it's useful to understand that when you're taking counsels from people, you understand if the people have skin in the game. So if something and you consume the information, imagine that something will happen bad for you, you have to look if it's something will so happen for the people that give you this counsel. And then so you have always to get that people that give you a counsel, and imagine that they gives you and you adopt it, that happens and something bad happens to you, if that person is gonna suffer some specific effect, you're gonna take their type of counsel as with a better probability to be something valuable. Another one that just gives you counsel but doesn't gonna suffer whatever is the feedback that comes just for you and not for him of the action that so is gonna be done in the future by you. So the thing that you have to get in count, skin in the game, it's important. But where was the skin in game? The skin in game talks about so the importance of evaluating the outcomes of my actions. I'm gonna so praise more the things that I do depending of what's gonna be the feedbacks that comes to me. That's normally it's something that is reasoning, and how it is in count with mental accounting is something that introduces well for mental accounting, because what happens for why people don't try sometimes wisely things that they have not worked to get, they have not putting the effort. So we and everyone get it, you don't praise the things the same thing that you will do if you have put effort. So imagine that you get money for free, you think and you shiv in their walking by the street, you have a higher probability, a higher tendency to treat like with less bothering in comparison with the same money, even talking about the same money that you would ever save coming from your day works or for your salary. You will treat differently just because the difference of what you have spent to get the outcome. And that's because what? Because we're sensitive. We're sensitive of if I spent well money that I've got from hard work, I look for the best and say, oh, why I've done that? I'll put all that work just so to spend that so unwisely. In comparison, if it was given by free, well, uh, I don't have to suffer. Like I didn't have to suffer, so even if I do these stupid type of purchases, I was gonna have a positive differential because I don't have any type of cost, and so whatever it is, the positive outcome that comes with spending this money, that even if the most stupid thing that you can buy, it has some specific type of utility, obviously not being the optimal, but has some specific type of thing that you can enjoy it. And then so it's more easier to justify this type of bad decisions when you don't have not so kind of to deal with all this process of having to spend time energy to get so the resources. And then so the consequence is poor financial planning, increase impulse spending because you don't care if you do the bad decision or not. So irrational investment in decisions more for the field of money. And so as well other things, neglecting debt repayment. So because of mental accounting, we may prioritize spending extra money on immediate pleasures rather than using to pay off high interest debts. This can delay financial freedom and make it harder to achieve long-term success. That's something as well that tend to happen. But now, then we have understood when we're more susceptible, when we receive unexpected windfalls, during financial stresses, when making small purchases, when so I get things and I have not put effort to do it, and then so how to overcome. Consider things that you've got free or not as equal. Their economic value is the same, so you have to think critically, and you have to give and have more empathy, just because sometimes the things that gives you to free coming from people that probably you like and have put their efforts to get it, probably your parents. And then so having empathy, develop empathy, understand the perspective of other ones, and doesn't treat the things differently just because of the cost that you have to got and have to spend to get things. Treat them as what is so the economic value that the thing has. So I expect this video makes you a better person. I expect you as well to help me by subscribing and seeing the other videos. So see you in the next one.